Now let's get familiar with your tools. For this event, we're going to use the Q&A option to answer questions. Take a moment to find this feature on the bottom of your Zoom screen. This icon might look slightly different depending on your device, but you should be able to spot the Q&A label. Feel free to post questions in the Q&A window throughout the webinar. We will answer them when the presentation is over though, so you can continue to focus on the rest of the content. Our objective today is simple. We want to introduce you to the Seller Hub to give you a better understanding of how this powerful tool can help you manage, analyze, and accelerate your business. To achieve today's agenda, we will dive into the benefits of using Seller Hub, and we'll start off by navigating you through the Active and Orders tab. We'll also give you a brief intro into the Marketing tab, Performance, and Growth tab. So let's begin. Before we learn about the program, I want to first make sure that you are all aware of how to activate the Seller Hub in the event you are not enrolled in it right now. Seller Hub is a central place for managing your eBay business. It's a free, easy-to-use dashboard that consolidates all our selling tools and selling activity in one location. It gives you useful data and recommendations to grow your eBay sales. To activate the Seller Hub, simply visit ebay.com/Seller Hub. I'm going to include the link in the chat just in case. You're also going to see a blue button that says Start Using Seller Hub. You just click on it and you're good to go. Today, we'll be giving you a relatively high-level introduction to Seller Hub. But as you continue to grow your business, we encourage you to learn more and take full advantage of its many valuable features. Over the next few slides, we'll talk about some of these features, including easy-to-use tools to create listings quickly and maintain orders with just a few clicks. Informational data about your sales trends for you to be able to identify top performers. Listing guidance so you can understand what improvements need to be made to increase your chances of a sale. And lastly, a powerful marketing tool that will help you boost your sales with ease. It is truly a single destination for sellers to manage and improve their entire business on eBay. So you've taken the right steps by joining today and learning the basics. Now let's dive a bit deeper into these features. The Overview tab is a landing page for all other dashboard views in the Seller Hub. This is also where you can set and track reminders. Here is what your Overview page looks like. Let's look in the different sections within the Overview tab so you can understand what is available. Let's start with Listings. This section will provide links to your Active tab, which we will be going over again in another slide. It is great at giving you a quick understanding of how many items are active, scheduled, or about to end. Something I would also like to point out is it gives you insights about any open offers you have if you have the best offer enabled in your listings. It will also highlight underperforming listings and the reasons why we feel they're not performing well, which gives you a chance to revise them and improve them to increase your chances of a sale. Then we have the Orders section. This information displayed in the section is very important, so make sure that you pay attention to it. It will let you know if any action is needed with an order, such as shipping your items out so you can stay on top of your handling time and overall orders processing. It will also keep you in the loop whenever your buyer opens a return or replacement. This will help you respond in a timely manner to provide great customer support and maintain that positive performance level that we spoke about in our last webinar. Feedback. This section will give you real-time data about your feedback. It will show you how many positives, neutrals, and negatives that you received in the last 30 days. Feedback not only helps you build a positive reputation on eBay, but it also helps you identify potential flaws in your inventory, fulfillment process, or shipping service. For example, if you are seeing a trend of feedback about a product that buyers consistently describe as defective, you may want to discontinue the item or find a different manufacturer. Seller announcements. Get in the habit of checking your seller announcements so you can continue to stay informed. Here is where we will announce a change and updates related to various aspects of your selling policies, processes, and products. To further reiterate the importance, let's take a look at an example. When the COVID-19 crisis hit, we announced that we'd be implementing additional protection and concessions for your evaluation cycles up till June. You would be able to see this announcement by going and viewing past announcements by clicking on the announcements link. It will also have any current announcements as well, so make sure that you're staying updated. Tasks. This section will help you stay on top of time-sensitive issues. It will call out any items that need to be shipped out, messages buyers sent, return requests, item not received, and cancellations that may need your approval. It will also let you know if there is anything we detect. So as you can see on this example on your screen, if we notice offers between you and the buyer to complete a purchase outside of eBay, we'll let you know because it could revoke your selling privileges, and that's the last thing that we would want. Growth opportunities. This section is exactly as the name suggests. It's there to point out opportunities within your listings that, if improved, will help you increase your chances of making a sale. It will show you underperforming listings and point out any items that have invalid or missing product identifiers or item specifics. As a reminder, we talked about item specifics in our first webinar and explained how they can help you boost your visibility on eBay. Promotional offers. With the basic store subscription trial you were given as a benefit of joining this program, you will be able to list up to 250 fixed price listings each month. This section will show you in real time how much you have used of the allotted amount and what you have remaining. With this information, you can plan out what to list and when. We will also provide occasional promotional offers for our sellers. This is where you will be able to see if there are any eligible offers that you can participate in. Monthly selling limits. Each seller has a selling limit that determines how many items you can list. This is defined by the number of items listed or maximum dollar value of inventory, whatever you hit first. This section will give you an idea of how much room you have for the month for new listings. There's also a link at the bottom where you can request a limit increase in the event you run out of room and have additional items that you'd like to list. Account summary. Account summary allows you to see your current invoices so you can stay on top of your monthly payments. It also gives you a good idea of how much you're going to be billed for the next cycle so you can plan and budget with ease. And last but not least, sales. This section enables you to view daily trends and track your sales performance from previous timeframes. You can look back at the previous 7 days, 31 days, and 90 days worth of sales. If you want to know more about your sales performance, you can click on the sales header, which will actually take you to a sales performance section so you can do a deeper dive. Once you've gotten the hang of the Seller Hub, you may want to customize your dashboard. You can do this by clicking on the Customize button on the right-hand side of your screen, and you'll be presented with a list of options to remove sections that you don't want and keep the ones that benefit you the most. You can also rearrange the sections by dragging them to your preferred location. To customize the Overview tab, click Customize in the upper right-hand corner of the Overview tab. It will pop up a box to add or remove sections from the list on top of the Overview page. Just simply click in the checkbox next to the section that you want to add or remove. Rearrange sections by dragging them to your preferred location. For example, you can move orders up to higher and move the traffic down. Once you're done with everything, make sure that you select I'm done to save your changes. Now, let's look at the Orders tab where all your post-transaction tools will be available. Here is your Orders tab. This area provides quick access tools to the status of your sold items. You can access these tools by hovering your mouse over the Orders tab to have a pop-up box appear. You can also access these tools by the left-hand navigation shown on your screen. You can search and sort these orders by a variety of criteria, such as the status of the shipment, like awaiting payment or shipping overdue, a time frame up to 90 days, and identifiable information like the buyer ID, username, order number, and item ID. In addition, you can download an Excel file by clicking on the Download Report button to review all orders in bulk with all detailed information about the transaction, such as the email address, the shipping cost, and tracking information. This is incredibly important and will help you stay on top of things for you and your buyers. Let's dive into the individual tabs a little bit further so you know how to effectively use them. This is your awaiting payment folder. This section will help you quickly identify what items have not been paid and for how long. When a buyer commits to buy an item, a final value fee is applied to your invoice and will stay that way unless you cancel the order or open up an unpaid item case, which needs to be opened within 30 days of the date sold. So as you can see on your screen, we have this date sold section that shows that this item was purchased on June 3rd. I would recommend messaging the buyer first to see if and when they plan on paying, but if you do not get a response or the request to cancel, I would proceed with the cancellation or unpaid item case before July 3rd. That's because you have 30 days to submit that cancellation or unpaid item case. I'm actually going to include a help page in the chat that will go over the unpaid item and cancellation process a bit more. When you click on the drop-down menu next to awaiting payment, you'll see a pop-up box that will give you a list of options. In there, you can contact the buyer, open a cancellation, or an unpaid item case. In some cases, you may choose to have a buyer pick up the item if they're in your area. In that case, you also have a way to mark the payment as received to acknowledge that you received payment. The awaiting shipment folder will help you stay on task and get your items delivered on time to your buyers. It has all the information you need in one area to successfully pack and ship out your items, and it will provide clear deadlines on when you need to get your items out to the post office. It will show you the quantity a buyer purchased, the total amount the buyer paid, the date sold and paid, and even the buyer's postal code. And here, you'll see that it has the ship by date, and it will even tell you if the shipping is overdue in bright red letters. Now, as we discussed in the Shipping Best Practice webinar, there's also a way for you to print shipping labels in bulk, add tracking, and mark your payments as shipped. You can see these options by clicking on Shipping. If you'd like to revisit the shipping webinar, just a reminder, go to ebay.com/up and running. Now let's look at the paid and shipped folder. This folder houses all orders that have been paid for and shipped out, which is a great next level of organization for your orders. You may end up accessing this page if you need to send the buyers a message or update tracking information, or even if you have to reprint the shipping label. It happens. Another way to use this feature for your business is to leave feedback for your buyers. I would encourage you to leave feedback for your buyers because it encourages them to leave feedback for you, which again helps with your reputation and gives insights about your business. You can leave feedback on one or more transactions by clicking on the boxes on the left and then selecting Leave Feedback button. Sorry. This is actually going to take you to a page where you're going to see a list of all the transactions that you've selected. And towards the bottom of the page, you're going to see the option to use a stored comment or write a custom comment that will apply to all transactions that you've uploaded. You can edit store comments for future use of this page as well. So this feature certainly helps leaving feedback a lot easier for your buyers. Now let's take a closer look at a few other functions in the Orders tab that you manage. First, let's talk about cancellations. Through this folder, you can see all orders that are in the process of being canceled or have been canceled. To make finding cancellations orders easier, you can sort by the top that will have a variety of ways for you to sort and search for what you may be looking for. You can sort by what cancellation statuses are, whether they're open or requested canceled, or ones that have been declined or closed. You can narrow down your selection even further by sorting by timeframes, which range anywhere from 7 days to the last 18 months. And if you're looking for one transaction in particular, you can also get specific by sorting by the buyer user ID or cancel ID. You can also choose to just search with the search bar by typing in some keywords for the listing or item number. Now, it's a good idea to keep an eye on your cancellations if you are canceling orders often, because you don't have the item or you can't find it. Place your store on vacation mode and perform an inventory check and adjust your listings accordingly. It's also good to make sure you're canceling orders for the right reason, and you can check here just to make sure that you're doing so. Next, let's look at the returns folder, which also offers options of sorting through your returns quickly. You can sort by the return status, which is helpful for when you're trying to only focus on which returns need your attention for approval or for a refund. Just like cancellations, you can sort by the time frame in the returns as well. This is helpful when trying to locate a specific return if you need to reference it later for any reason. You can also sort by more specific information such as the buyer username, item ID, or return ID. You also have the option to search to use the search function when you type in keywords. It's good to evaluate when buyers are returning items. It can help you identify any problematic items, or it can point out changes that need to be made within your listing that might have misinformation. We also have a section for cases. Cases will take you to your resolution center. This is where all your item not received claims and cases where buyers asked us for assistance will be housed. Make sure you're checking on this section daily to ensure you're maintaining a positive performance. You can also manage your eBay printed shipping labels by clicking the shipping labels option shown on the left. From this page, you can void out, reprint labels, and view your already purchased labels. We've gone into those details a bit more in the Shipping Best Practice webinar. So again, make sure that you're checking that recorded version if you have any questions. Now that we've covered orders, let's take a look at the listing tab. This tab allows you to list items both individually and in bulk. It's also where you can manage your active and ended listings. This tab was created to make managing your listings faster and easier. First, let's take a look at the options that are available in the listing tab. When you hover your mouse over listings, you will see this menu shown here. You can create a new listing, manage your inventory, see active and unsold listings, and review your drafts and scheduled listings that have been ended. This menu allows you to quickly navigate to the page you want in the listing tab itself. You also have these options on the left-hand side of the Seller Hub if you're already on the listing tab. You have the option to search and filter listings based upon what they're looking for, which makes revisions a lot easier. You can search for item numbers, keywords in the title, and listing format. You can use the quick filters to quickly sort eligible listings for promoted listings and listings that are eligible for best offers. If recommended or required item specifics are missing, you will also be able to see that in these quick filters shown here, which will make it easier to edit them in bulk, which we will talk about a bit more later on. You can print out the page you are on as well as customize which columns you will see. It's also easy to navigate to different pages by typing which number you would like to jump to and simply click go. To create a new listing from this page, click on Create Listing button in the right-hand corner of the page. This will give you an option to create a single listing or to create listings in bulk. Using the bulk function will be easier if you're planning on listing a bunch of inventory at the same time. This page also makes it easier for you to make adjustments in bulk rather than revising one listing at a time. If you need to change a picture or change your description, it may be best to use a single feature. However, if you're making changes like updating your handle time, it would be quick and easy to do the bulk feature. To make edits simple, check the box next to the listings that you would like to make adjustments to. And then from there, select the buttons that run horizontally directly over the top of your listings. These buttons include Edit, Sell Similar, Actions, and Sell Faster. Let's take a closer look at the menus available within Edit, Actions, and Sell Faster so you understand what your options are. This Edit button gives you the capability to edit the listings you selected within the checkboxes, or you can choose to edit a pre-selected batch. This will load the listings up into a bulk editing tool so that you can make changes all at once. The Actions menu gives you the ability to do a wide range of actions on the listings that you have selected. You can end them, change the listing format, add notes, and more. Being able to take action like these in bulk definitely helps save time if you're trying to make quick changes to one or more listings. Then there is the Sell It Faster option. This option is geared towards getting your listings optimized and adding enticing options for your buyers to help the item sell. You can add item specifics, promoted listings, send offers, and add or edit best offers within the listing through this menu. You can also make edits from this page in certain columns that include price, quality, and custom label. Just hover your mouse over the field you want to edit and click on the pencil icon that appears. Once you've saved these changes, the listing is updated right away and you don't need to do anything else. This makes it easy to have less clicks overall to make your edits quickly. The unsold and ended folders are similar and houses most of the same listings. There are two differences between these folders to keep in mind. The first is that the ended listing folder will have all listings ended for any reason, from no longer having quantity available to listings that just did not sell, such as an auction, which is eligible to relist. The second difference is the bulk action buttons in the ended folder does not have the option to create a listing, but you can still relist a fixed price listing and a sell similar, and you will also have the same actions button. The unsold folder has all of the listings that have ended with quantity remaining on them. There is also a button available to create a brand new single or multiple listing. In both folders, the action button provides options to add or edit a note on the listing, save it to your inventory, or delete the listing you've selected within the checkboxes. Both folders also have a column to show the end date as well as the status of whether or not you have relisted them, just to make sure that you're avoiding relisting the same item. The draft folder houses listings that have been not made live to the site. If you don't have time to complete a listing, just click Save for Later. That's usually located on the top of the Create Your Listings page, and that's where your draft will be found in this section. Just click on Complete Draft from the Actions column to go to the listing form. Complete your draft and list from here. A draft remains in your folder for 30 days from the last time you made any edits. The arrow next to complete drafts also enables you to delete the draft if you no longer need it. If you have more than one draft listing, you can also finish creating the listings in bulk by using the Bulk Actions button at the top. You can also create copies with the Create Copy button. On the scheduled listing page, you can preview, edit, reschedule, or delete any of your scheduled listings. Listing scheduled is the ability to specify a future time for a listing. When the item is sent to eBay, it will stay in a pending state until the start time arrives, at which time the listing will be activated. It's important to note that you may not edit, reschedule, or cancel pending listings before 1 hour prior to the start time. You can schedule listings up to 21 days in advance and can have up to 3,000 scheduled listings in this folder at any given time. There's also a full, Okay, so there's also a bulk feature available that will give you the option to assign or remove automation roles, which we'll talk about automation roles just a bit later. The Actions menu allows you to perform, reschedule, add notes, and delete listings in bulk as well. In addition to the various folders, there's also two settings that you will find within the Listing tab. The first one I want to discuss is the Listings template. Listing templates enable you to have listings forms filled out in areas that don't change much from listing to listing. Like the template pictured here, if I sell a camera lens, I can have my category and a part of my title complete, what listing format I want them to be in, and maybe some item specifics in my template, which will save me some time when creating listings from scratch. You can have up to 50 templates in this folder. The second setting is the automation preferences. Through this page, you can set up different automation features, including automating feedback for buyers, automated emails to buyers, emails alerting you when these rules have failed, and it will also have set up listing automation schedule to suspend listings from being automatically listed and relisted during certain times. Okay, I know we've shared a lot of details with you today, but this just demonstrates how useful Seller Hub really is. There's a lot to say about Seller Hub because there's so much you can do with it. In this final section, we're going to give you a brief overview of the Marketing, Performance, and Research tab within the Seller Hub. Starting with the Marketing tab. The Marketing tab gives you the option to manage your store, set up promotions for your buyers, manage your promoted listings, and take advantage of store subscriber discounts. The Performance tab gives you access to data to help you analyze your listings and your sales throughout the sales, selling cost, and traffic options. You can also access your seller performance and service metrics through this area as well. And finally, the Research tab, which gives you tools that can help you optimize your listings for SEO. If you activate your store subscription, you will have access to Terapeak, which provides listing improvements and recommendations. And in addition to that, you'll also have sourcing guidance and restock advice that will help you point out what improvements could be made to your listings to help you be more competitive. For example, if you have a listing that is priced much higher than your peers, we'll recommend decreasing the price. Once you get comfortable with selling on eBay and you're ready to supercharge your business, I would encourage you to explore the sections of Seller Hub further. There's much more valuable information available in them, and they're great resources for boosting your sales. We did it. That's all the content that we have prepared for you today. But before we head into Q&A portion of today's webinar, we wanted to share a few quick but important reminders and resources for you. We encourage you to visit ebay.com/up and running and look for the Connect and Learn section of the site. There you will find lots of valuable information, including 1, link to recordings of past webinars. If you missed our 3 webinars and want a refresher on today's webinar, be sure to check on them at the eBay Up and Running page. These webinars are packed with super valuable information, so be sure to check those recordings out. 2, details and helpful videos that will walk you through all the key parts of the selling processes. Bookmark this page and check back often, as we will be adding more videos in the next coming weeks. And 3, the link to the Up and Running online community, which we strongly encourage each of you to join. It's a fantastic place to connect with other new sellers and ask questions and get direct answers to both eBay seller expert mentors and full eBay team standing ready to help with answers, guidance, and inspiration. In addition to all of this, you will receive an email with the recording of today's webinar in case you want to reference it later, plus some links related to the learning resources. It will all be posted in a few days on ebay.com/up and running. With that, go ahead and get your questions in. Okay, while you're getting your questions in, I'm going to read off some frequently asked questions that might be able to help you. So, I'm using Seller Hub for the first time. Will it change the way I sell? You'll still get all the tools and benefits you have access to now. Seller Hub gives you even more powerful functionalities and a single destination to manage and improve your entire business on eBay. From the Seller Hub, you can monitor the overall status of your business, manage your listings and orders, monitor current performance of your business, and access insights and guidance that can help you grow your business. All right, let's go back to the frequently asked questions. Is eBay Seller Hub free to use? eBay Seller Hub is free to use and includes listings, reporting, and order management functionalities. How can I access my account information from the Seller Hub? That's a pretty good question. You can access your account information from Seller Hub by hovering over your name in the top left-hand corner above the eBay logo and selecting Account Settings. Okay, looks like we're still answering some of your questions, so I'll continue to read from the frequently asked questions. What are the benefits of eBay Seller Hub? Oh, actually, this one is kind of reiterating what we've said throughout the webinar. It helps you monitor your business, manage your listings, and then again, it helps you have insights and guidance to grow your business. It's really awesome with what you can do. Okay, let's see here. Okay, another good frequently asked question. I can only see 90 days of sold activity on the Seller Hub. Can I see more history? Under the Seller Performance tab in the Sales section, you can see your sales history clear back to 2015. There are a lot of reports available to help you manage your business. Okay, we did have a question come in about how to activate the Seller Hub, which is great. I want to make sure that we're getting you enrolled into that program. So just make sure to go to ebay.com/Seller Hub. We did include it in the chat, and it'll be real simple. We'll have a blue button that says Start. Another great question from Daniel. Can the research function help determine the best category to use for a product when there may be minimal optimal for a sale? So the research tab is absolutely an excellent resource to look up optimal categories for items you're unsure of where to list. Okay, another great question from Mark. My company has a listing in my eBay. I didn't know there was a Seller Hub. What is the difference? What are the benefits of switching to the Seller Hub? Can I transfer over the products that are already listed on my eBay to the Seller Hub? So yeah, great question. Again, you can opt into the Seller Hub by going to ebay.com/Seller Hub, and there will be no disruption at all when you move over to the Seller Hub from My eBay. All of your active listings will appear in the Listings tab, and all of your past sales will be moved over to your Orders tab. The information is already captured in the Seller Hub, but it's just a different view and it has way more options for you to be able to grow your business. So I highly recommend that you opt in to make sure that you're taking advantage of it. Another question from Romel. On the Seller Hub, can I print my shipping labels? Yes, you can print your shipping labels. You can access shipping labels and awaiting shipment under your orders tab at the top, and that's where you'll be able to print your shipping labels. And if you're having a hard time finding that, remember that we have that shipping webinar that we performed a couple weeks ago, and it will actually walk you through that process. Okay, let's go back to the FAQs while we're waiting for some more questions to come in. How frequently is the data updated? Is it real time or once a week? So data in the hub is updated on a daily basis. So it will actually give you a timestamp. Now, I actually have seen delays from time to time if we're making updates to the site. So if you feel like the data is, hasn't been updated, you'll be able to see a timestamp normally of when the last update was. Okay, another FAQ question. Why are you recommending that I change my listings? Where do your recommendations come from? Great question. The Seller Hub can tell you ways to make your items more likely to sell. The data comes from billions of completed sales on eBay. You'll actually be able to find a complete list of recommendations in that research tab that we briefly talked about at the end of the webinar. All right, let's go back to the Q&A. So this is a question from Daniel. What are the limitations to how I manage a listing in the Seller Hub if I'm using a listing tool? It appears that I need to do some edits in that tool, but can I do some in the Seller Hub? So that's a great question. If you're using a listing tool, you'll want to make changes in that tool and not the Seller Hub. The listing tool that you have will actually override any edits that you make directly on eBay. So to save you some time, make sure that you're making those changes through your listing tool. But you can also still use the research tab to analyze trends on eBay. So it's still a great feature and will be vital to your business. Let's see here. Okay, a question from Nicole. Listing improvements will be helpful after we list items? Yes, it absolutely will. The system will make recommendations based on up-to-the-minute sales and traffic data across the site. It's a super powerful tool. And remember, this market is constantly changing. So, it just helps you pinpoint anything that needs to be changed that you honestly might not be aware of, like price. Okay, let's go back to the FAQs. Why can't I customize my orders tab? The option to customize the orders tab is not available because the page provides all of the most used and needed data points without the need for sellers to customize and add anything. But remember, you do have a way to download that Excel file, which will allow you to sort and filter, any way you want if you're familiar with Excel. Okay, let's see. Going back to the questions from the audience. Okay, so Nicole asked, is there one tool specifically within Marketing eBay Seller Hub that is more useful than others? That really is a great question. It really depends on what your business goals are. We provide multiple options because marketing tools are optimal for certain categories, initiatives, or the time of year than others. So I would encourage you to try all of the tools and see what complements your inventory best. All right, Jack asked, I am just starting to list eBay. I need a few good starting selling tips, including new listings. So first, welcome Jack and everyone else actually. The best advice we can give is listing optimization. We recommend looking into the research tab that I talked about in the webinar. It provides fantastic tips. Also, item specifics are one of the most important parts of your listing. This is how your items are searchable through eBay and Google. So make sure that you're filling all that information out to stay competitive. What I would encourage you to do, Jack, as you're starting to list items, is to watch the listing optimization webinar that we talked about. It will tell you, how to structure your title in the most effective way, what information you should be filling out to make sure that you have the greatest visibility on eBay. Okay, so let's go back to the FAQs just to give you some more time to submit in your questions and we'll get them answered. So is Seller Hub available on mobile? You can access Seller Hub by going to ebay.com on your mobile device web browser, but right now you can't access Seller Hub through the standard eBay app. So right now, I don't see anything in the woodworks for that, but hopefully one day you will be able to. Okay, another question from the FAQs. Do the same listing fees apply when listing with the Seller Hub? Yes, we want to be able to help you, so we're not going to increase your listing fees. They're going to stay the same with whatever tool you use. As a reminder, with your basic store, you're given 250 free fixed price listings and won't be charged any insertion fees until after you've used that allotted amount. So again, just a reminder there. Okay, let's see here. Okay, another question came from David. What is the percentage eBay keeps from each sell? So every time you sell an item, you are charged a final value fee, and it really is going to depend on the category that you're selling in. So I'm going to put like a help page that's going to give you a breakdown of those fees, and then you'll be able to see for yourself, how much you're going to be charged based off of the item you're selling. Let's see here. Okay, I just included that now. Okay, from Mark. Can you see what are the top selling items on eBay via the Seller Hub? So you can view other top selling items in the Seller Hub with Terapeak. This is a selling tool that provides insights into what to sell, when to sell it, and how to sell it. So make sure that you're looking into it. It's pretty cool. You can search by the name of your product, the product identifier, and it even tells you like how many people are competing within that category, so you get an idea of what you're up against. Okay, another question from Daniel. Earlier you mentioned a way to optimize existing listings. Where do we go to see how to improve our listings? Any advice? You can actually find optimization tips within Seller Hub under improving your listings, or we have an entire help page that will break it down as well. And I know I keep saying this, but we also have that webinar and a lot of useful information at the up and running page on eBay. I'm going to go ahead and include that help page that will give you insights on boosting traffic within our search engine. All right, Jack asked, I wish to list my items as a new listing. Any types that I need to use that to make my new listing person? So let's see here. So like we have that listing optimization webinar that we gave you. You have that handout page that we just provided in the chat. I would go over those resources before you list your item, just to make sure that we're saving you time, you know what to look for and whatnot. But we also have a catalog. And that catalog will pre-fill valuable information for you. It's not always available on some items, but when the opportunity presents itself, it's an easy way to have all of that information filled out. Okay, let's see. Okay, so let's go back to the FAQs. So why am I unable to see how many watchers and views I have on my listings from the orders page? So we didn't really touch base on this, but within the active tab, you can see how many people are watching your items and viewing your items. If you're a buyer on the platform, you'll be already familiar with what watchers are, but basically anybody can go and watch an item and it will have like a section in eBay for them to quickly access your listing. It also updates you with any like price changes or whatnot, just to encourage the sell. But watchers and views cannot be from the orders page because it's just not related to the order. So make sure to go to your active page to find that information. Okay, looks like questions are slowing down. So we'll give you a few more minutes to get your questions in, but then we'll wrap up here shortly. So I'd say get them in the next 5 minutes. Okay, so let's go to the FAQs while we're waiting for you to get some of your last questions in. So what are the typical resources of traffic for eBay for listings on eBay? Traffic to your listings is measured from both internal and external sources. Internal traffic is generated by eBay search results on desktop and eBay apps. External sources are from social media and also search engines like Google and Bing. So it'll allow you to analyze your sales on and off of eBay. And we've talked about this, in last webinars. If you want to make sure that your items are showing up externally on eBay, make sure that you're providing the product identifiers. And also make sure that you have a good quality image. Have that white background. Get like a white sheet or something like that to have a clean finish. And that's honestly going to be the best way to help boost your visibility through external search engines, because they also have their set of criteria that they're using to rank results. Okay, let's see. Okay, we had a few more questions pop in, so I'm just Waiting on some answers here. Okay, so I have another FAQ that I'll read here. It says, what information and resources are available to support sellers switching to the Seller Hub? We certainly want to make sure that you're supported in this transition, which is why we've got this webinar here today. But you can also learn more about the Seller Hub in the Seller Center. I'm going to provide that link right now, and it's specifically for new businesses on eBay. You can also learn about it on the help modules that are usually shown on the right-hand side of your screen when you're viewing the Seller Hub. It has personalized videos and suggestions based on the page that you are on. So I'm just popping that link in the chat. Okay, Nicole asked a really good question. If you're new and don't have any reviews, how big of a factor does that play in people taking a chance to buy? So full transparency, it can be a little bit slower at first, but as long as you are being competitive on your price and have a well-optimized listing, you're gonna do great. It's just, a way for you to show your buyer that you're trustworthy. So make sure that you're really spending the time to understand how to have an optimized listing. It's free to be able to do it, and it's one of the biggest ways to make a huge improvement to your business. Another question popped in, where can I find the replay of listing optimization webinar? So all of the previous webinars that we've had are on the up and running website. So just go to www.com eBay/forward up and running, and you'll be able to see it. I'm gonna go ahead and include that link one more time in the chat just so you can have it. And then bookmark it. See here, here you go. Okay, guys. Okay, I'm gonna answer one more. I'm gonna read one more out loud, and then I'm gonna wrap up the webinar for today. So how do people advertise shipping and postal costs in advance? So there are multiple ways to set up your listing when it comes to shipping, all of which you will be able to decide when you first create your draft. So you'll be able to see in your listing, when you're creating a listing, a drop-down menu that will allow you to check out whether you want calculated shipping, if you want to specify a cost. If you're not really familiar with what the shipping cost will be, I strongly encourage you to do that option where you can just have the buyer enter in the postal code and we'll be able to decide the shipping cost for them. Oh, okay, we have one more question, so let's get that answered real quick. Oh, and guys, sorry if I wasn't clear on that last question. The option where you can like enter in the postal code and we'll decide the shipping cost is called the calculated shipping option, just so you know. But I'm also going to include a link to shipping options just to give you a little bit more information about what options that you have available. Okay, we're just waiting on one more question. Sorry about the wait. Okay, let's see here. Okay, let me read that last question, and then we'll wrap things up. So Daniel asked, do you have any references to interpret the data on views, watchers, etc.? How can I tell if I'm getting a good response on my listings? So there are a lot of variables from account to account. Just because you're going to be selling different products and are going to be up against, seasonality. So the best way for you to look and compare different time frames is to look at your traffic page in eBay. It's going to tell you, what is the change? Are you getting impressions? Are buyers able to easily see your items? And are you not? If you have a situation where you have a low impression, make sure that you're reviewing your listing, scan it, see if you have anything that's missing. Is it in the wrong category? Does the title need to be structured differently? Do you have item specifics that are not filled out? And most importantly, what's the price? Because you can have a fully optimized listing, and if the price is not competitive, then it's greatly going to reduce your chances of a sale. But I hope that I answered all of your questions today, and I want to thank you again for coming to these events. It's been such a pleasure to be able to present this content for you all. And as a reminder, you're going to get a recording, so make sure to watch it at your convenience and rely on your community members within the community support group. Thank you again, and I hope you have a wonderful day.